Hey guys, it's CBGP, and today I want to talk about Paralives. So I've been wanting to talk about this specific thing related to Paralives for a minute, but I just haven't really gotten around to doing it. And now that the basically confirmed date of it coming out is the 25th of May, I think that it's a good time for me to talk about this. This is not going to be a very long video, like not very long at all, because well, I don't want it to be that long. And also, I'm not really going to go into detail about anything Paralives. There's many other videos on YouTube doing that. Also, I'm kind of lazy and I don't feel like doing that right now. So I'm going to talk about my major issue with something I've been seeing related to this. So first, I want to say a few days before me uploading this video, they released like something on Reddit. I'll link the post in the description, confirming the release date and what exactly is going to be in the game when it releases in early access. So let me list through those real quick. The day one stuff available in live mode, whatever you want to say, is open world town, work, rabbit holes and career progression, personality traits, emotions, needs, wants, skills, relationship development, aging, death, and having children, character autonomy, doing anything as a group, shops, restaurants, museums, cooking system, bills, house fires, and modding tools. In build mode, they will have a color wheel for everything, flexible wall placement tools, optional grid placement for walls, split level platforms, building multiple floors, moving existing walls, object resizing, stairs and roof placement, and fences. And then for the Paramaker, they're gonna have a color wheel, height slider, body and face slider, tattoo placement tool, layering and mixing of tops and stuff like that, asymmetrical for eye color, socks and everything else, I guess, and genetic system, right? Those are the first things that are coming to the game. All of those are the things that they basically confirmed are gonna be in early access. And with that much said, this is kind of what I want to get into. So there is a subset of people on YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, any website that you can get your hands on that have this weirdo belief that Paralives is going to be the best game on the planet. It's going to blow The Sims and Inzoi completely out of the water, and nothing will ever be Paralives, you know? That's a weird belief that these people have, and I just want to step on your dreams and say, no, that is not going to happen. Paralives is an indie early access game. It is not going to have half of the things that any other life simulator game currently has at the moment. They confirmed the most basic of basic things that are going to be in Paralives, which is good, and hopefully they're done correctly, but these are like the most basic things because it's an early access game. Early access means basically not finished, and they want feedback to finish said game. That is what early access means. So because of that, the game's not going to have all the stuff that people have. So I really want people to lower their expectations, not in a mean way, but I want you to lower your expectations for this game so we don't have another Inzoi situation on our hands, okay? And if you're like, what is this Inzoi situation? People projecting so much on a game that never promised you anything, essentially, that's not a good thing to do, specifically to early access games, because the expectation for early access games to be basically like a fully released game is genuinely crazy, and I don't think that should be something that we should be doing. Also, calling Paralives a Sims killer, or it's gonna kill the Sims, or, you know, it's gonna blow the Sims out of the water and all that jazz, that is also not a good thing, because putting the label Sims killer on to a game that hasn't even had a chance to stand on its own is such a terrible thing to do. And look, I'm not saying comparisons. There are gonna be comparisons to games and things in the same genre all the time. People compare everything, and I'm not saying that you can't compare them. But what I am saying is that don't call it a Sims killer. The game is not a Sims killer. It won't be a Sims killer. The only way The Sims is going to be killed is by EA, which they're actively doing right now. Trying to make a game have such high expectations of it's going to kill a 25-year-old game franchise is destined for failure. So let's not do this to Paralives, because unlike Inzoi that's literally being backed by the Korean government, apparently, Paralives is a bunch of, like, what, 13, 14 indie developers that made this game. They're not going to be able to last through such harsh backlash that Inzoi had. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve backlash or criticism or whatever. I'm saying they don't deserve to have expectations put on them, which you already know aren't going to happen. They released these slides of what's going to be in here, essentially, to basically tell everybody what's going to be in the game, to make their expectations at the right level. Because there's a lot of people genuinely overhyping this game and trying to tell people how it's going to be so much better than other games. And that's not how that works. This game may be a great game, and it's going to have potential to be an amazing game, obviously, as it gets out of early access. But the problem is putting the out of early access expectations on a game that literally would just release is such a bad thing to do. And it's just something I see a lot these days. Either people trash on a game that hasn't released, or they overhype a game that hasn't released. and neither of those things end particularly well. So I just don't want that happening to Paralives as a whole, because I'm very interested in this game, and I just want more life simulators, okay? I will not let what happened to Life by You happen to Paralives, alright? I cannot stand by and let something like this happen. I don't want that to happen. So instead of overhyping the game, having such high expectations, let's have normal expectations. Let's expect this game to be a good early access game instead of a fully released AAA game on comparison to The Sims 25 years. Let's not do that. I just want people to not be like, I'm so disappointed with this game, and then like give up on it, because you kind of disappointed yourself. And I'm just gonna say the same thing happened to Inzoi as I explained the Inzoi situation. Literally people just taking and acting like all of these things are, and then saying they were lied to when they weren't. They just overthought things where they shouldn't have. That's basically it. I don't want people doing that to Paralives, because Paralives is indie and it has a lesser a chance of survival if people just decide to dogpile it. Alright? And so let's not do that. Let's not do that. With that much said, that's basically all I have to say. I'm not trying to be any kind of way. I'm very excited for Paralives, but I want people's expectations to be not astronomically high for an early access game that hasn't even had a chance yet. All right, give it a chance. Have some grace, buddy. That's all I have to say. So yeah, if you have any thoughts, opinions, whatever, put them in the comments. Hey, yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. This was CVGP. I will see you a lot next time, and bye.